Space is not empty. Rethinking gravity as displacement in an invisible medium. We are taught from an early age that space is empty, a vast, silent vacuum stretching endlessly in all directions. It is described as nothing, a passive arena where matter exists and events unfold. But this description, while convenient, may be deeply misleading. What if space is not empty at all? What if it behaves more like an immaterial medium, an invisible pool that responds dynamically to the presence of mass? By shifting our perspective in this way, gravity itself begins to look less like a mysterious force and more like a natural consequence of disturbance within a hidden continuum. The problem with nothing. Let's examine the void. The concept of empty space is surprisingly difficult to defend when examined closely. If space were truly nothing, how could it transmit light? How could it allow gravitational effects to propagate across vast cosmic distances? How could it possess structure, curvature, or energy? Describing space as nothing is less a statement of fact and more a placeholder, a way of avoiding deeper questions about what space actually is. Instead, imagine that space is something, just not something material in the conventional sense. It cannot be touched, bottled, or directly observed, yet it exists everywhere and interacts with everything. An immaterial pool filling the vastness of the cosmos. Picture space as an infinite, invisible pool, not a liquid made of molecules, but a continuous, intangible substrate that fills the universe. It has no color, no resistance in the usual sense, and no obvious boundaries, but it can be shaped. Now introduce an object with mass into this pool. Rather than simply existing in space, the object displaces it. Like a sphere pressing into water, it creates a distortion, a kind of depression or curvature in the underlying medium. This distortion is not static. It defines how other objects move nearby. A planet orbiting a star is not being pulled by an invisible tether. Instead, it is following the contours created by the star's displacement of the pool. Its path is guided, not forced. Now let us consider gravity without pulling. In this framework, gravity is not a force in the traditional sense. There is no need for action at a distance, no invisible lines tugging objects together. Instead, motion arises from geometry, the shape of the immaterial pool itself. Objects move the way they do because the surface they exist within is curved. Even light, which has no mass, follows these curves, bending as it passes near massive bodies. This idea aligns with a deeper intuition, that motion often follows the path of least resistance. In a distorted medium, the straightest possible path is no longer straight. It becomes curved. Why? We struggle to see it. Our everyday experience is deceptive. Our everyday experience gives us no direct access to this underlying structure. We don't feel space bending beneath our feet. We don't see distortions forming around objects. Everything appears stable, solid, and straightforward. As a result, we default to simpler explanations, forces, pulls, and pushes. These ideas work well at human scales, but they may obscure what's really happening at deeper levels of reality. The immaterial pool concept is not something we can observe directly, but it provides a mental model, one that replaces abstraction with intuition, a universe full of something. Modern science already suggests that space is far from empty. Fields permeate every region, quantum fluctuations flicker constantly, and the fabric of space can stretch, ripple, and bend. The idea of space as an immaterial pool takes this one step further. It suggests that what we perceive as emptiness is actually a continuous presence, one that interacts with mass in subtle but profound ways, changing the question, looking deeper into the mystery. Instead of asking, how do objects pull on each other across empty space? We might ask, how does the presence of mass reshape the medium everything exists within? That shift in perspective changes everything. Gravity becomes less mysterious, motion becomes more intuitive, and space itself transforms from a passive void into an active participant in the structure of reality. In the end, the greatest illusion may not be gravity or motion, but emptiness itself. What we call nothing may in fact be the most important something of all.